What's going on, everybody? Whew. Thought I'd sit down this one with the tripod and try something new. So last video sparked a pretty big debate with a lot of people, and they basically said, model be damned, which engine would you prefer, N54 or N55? Now me personally, I would still stay with an N55, mainly because, you know, BMW is never going to be like my crazy race car that I put a bunch of power into or anything else like that. I actually prefer LS engines. I know everyone, you know, typical LS guy. Whatever, it's what I like. But yeah, a BMW is never going to be like my crazy race car that I go all out with. It's just, you know, it's my in-between car. If I ever had another BMW, it would be a daily, and just like this one is, you know. Eventually, when I get tired of stock horsepower, I'm gonna bump it up. And that's just, you know, the nature of this car. But all that aside, N54 versus N55. If you're looking at which one to buy and you're in the market to buy, you need to think, you know, ask yourself this question before you purchase an N54 or N55. What do you plan to do with the car? If the car is your all-out race car that you're going to have for years and that you're going to beat on, go to the drag strip and all the other things, the short answer is buy an N54. Every tuning shop out there will recommend an N54, Dynon, MHD. All the big BMW tuners are all going to look at you and say N54. I mean, it's a proven engine, it's got strong internals. Yeah, it's got its fair share of problems, but it's just the way it is. That's how race cars are. Now, if you're like me, you know, you want a daily driver, you want something that you can tootle around town with, play with on stock power until eventually you get tired of it, but you've still got the car, so you're like, hey, I just want a little bit more, I'd buy an N55, because an N55 is perfectly fine with a charge pipe, intercooler, and exhaust. Maybe a tune. Like this car's happy on that. It's not going to throw you too many problems. It'll be less reliable than stock, I think. I mean, the only thing I can think of going wrong on a stock car that you're better off modifying would be the charge pipe, because the stock one tends to break and blow up on you. But I think an N55 would fit for you. Not only does it sound really good, sounds worlds better than an N54, but you know, it's got a decent linear power band. You don't have to worry about like the turbo wastegate rattle or anything else like that. I mean, N55 still have the problem, but it's much less common on an N55 as opposed to an N54. Most N54 guys don't care about turbo rattle because they're upgrading their turbos anyway. But that's, like I said, the nature of the N54. It's just a much better modular platform. The N54 versus the N55 reliability, they both suffer from pretty much the same problems, give or take a few things that they've improved from the N54. So N54 and N55 both suffer from oil filter housing gasket leaks, valve cover leaks. They both suffer from misfires, fuel pump problems. Less common on the N55, turbo wastegate rattle, injector issues. Like, it's just what it is. The N55 has solved a little bit of those. I haven't personally had any misfire problems with the car. I have had a bunch of gaskets go bad. I've had relays go bad. They both are electrical nightmares, but that's BMW in general. I luckily don't have any turbo wastegate rattle. I hope it stays that way, because I don't need any more reason than I have now to put a bigger turbo in the car. But yeah, I've been decently lucky with it. As far as, like, let's just say modification availability, N54 mods are going to cost you a little bit more money than an N55, and that's just the nature of it. It's a more widely known engine, and it's more widely known for tuning, so tuners are going to charge more money for it. But a lot of times that actually means a little bit higher quality parts too. And what I mean by the high quality is there's just more companies out there making parts for the N54. So let's just use the charge pipe as an example. There's like 3 good companies that I know of that make a charge pipe for the N55. I went with VRSF because, you know, it's cheap and it works, and you can't get more simple than an aluminum pipe. But The N54, I've done a little bit of research. There's like 7 or 8 companies that make great charge pipes out there, and they're all varying in prices. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. As far as, like I say, just which engine is better overall, like I said, you've just got to ask yourself which engine is better for you. Do you want a race car, or do you want a daily streetable car? I'm not saying that you can't daily a race car. There are plenty of people out there that like to party in daily race cars. I mean, I know somebody personally who dailies a 900 horsepower CTSV, and it's pretty livable. It's an automatic transmission, you know, all this stuff. But as for me, I'm sticking with the N55 purely because, like I said, it's an in-between car it's just getting me where I need to be now until I've got a little bit more money and I can, you know, set aside and say, hey, what do I want? Do I want my race car now? Which direction do I want to go in? But I'm happy with it, as happy as I can be with it. I'm still having a little bit of issues here and there with maintenance, but I'm getting them all sorted out through time. But that's just gonna wrap up this video. I'm trying to keep it short and simple for you guys. If you guys have any questions, or you know, want to get in a big debate and fight with me in the comments again, feel free to leave a comment below then, and we will get into it. But until next time,